Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tampa Bay Arts Passport Podcast. My name is Avery Anderson. Thank you so much for listening today. Today's conversation is with a really incredible person that I was introduced to about a year ago, Serena Utz. She is the book club coordinator for Tombolo Books and the founder, the maker, the sourdough feeder at Trust Your Gut. Did you know sourdough is a living thing that you have to feed? Learn that new fact today. This conversation is really about all the work she's doing around building community across art, literature, and books, and how you can support a local business helping you get better in tune with your gut. So please enjoy this wonderful episode. All right. Hello, Serena. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Are you excited?
I am excited and slightly nervous.
There's nothing to be nervous about. We're just going to have fun.
Okay,
and we're just going to talk. And you brought goodies.
I did. I had a bake day today, so I was up very early, but I was like, I have to bring some baked goods, some baked sourdough goods to this interview. So I had a little bit of extra last night from doing my dough day, so I brought a little smorgasbord of things to try and taste during our time together.
Oh my gosh, we're going to get into all of that soon.
Yes.
Your sourdough baking business, Trust Your Gut, but we have other things to talk about first.
We do.
Also, I just want to be very clear. This is... moving forward, everyone listening, if you want to be on this podcast, you need to bring baked goods.
Like, yeah, that is the bare minimum.
New baseline required. So thank you so much for elevating what everyone has to do.
My pleasure.
Something. You have to bring some sort of offering to the table,
of course.
Literally.
To the altar.
Okay, but we were going to start by talking about your role with Tombolo Books.
Yes.
You are, I feel like I call you like the curator, the coordinator, the amazing creative consultant organizing Tombolo's book clubs.
Yes.
I don't know if that's your official title.
That's a much more cohesive title than I would say. I think officially I'm the book club coordinator for the bookstore, otherwise known as the Book Club Wrangler, because I am wrangling all sorts of different groups and genres and people to the space.
I love it.
And the community.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's just start. Give me like a quick overview. Tombolo's book clubs. Obviously, I'm going to go off the assumption we know what a book club is.
Yes.
For those
For
that
those
don't,
of you.
You're going to get together, you're going to read a book, and then you're going to discuss it. So we can get that out of the way.
Definitely.
So what are Tombolo's book clubs?
Yes. So we have, I would say, two different factions of book clubs. We have partnership book clubs, like with the Arts Passport, and other community leaders and spots. And then we have the Tombolo book clubs on site that are hosted usually by at least one book club host that is a employee of the bookstore. But they happen within the walls of Tombolo and have that insight of book club curation from within.
And so so there's all these different book clubs. They all have different themes, different partnerships.
Yeah.
How do you kind of decide like which ones become a club, and then how do you curate that?
Okay, so I'll back up for 1 second and I'll give some context. So I would say book clubs with the bookstore actually started in 2020, so prime pandemic time.
We were all thriving, living our best lives.
We were doing our best, right? And actually, because I did my little notes for this, our first book club, let me double check, was the Horror Book Club in November of 2020. Close second was Crime Travel Book Club, hosted by Candace, who's one of our co-owners, in December of 2020. So it kind of came at a perfect time of bringing community together when we weren't necessarily able to be together. And so I actually began working at Tombolo in the summer of 2020. So masks up, we had limited people in the bookstore. Our owner, Alsace, was riding her bike and making deliveries. Wow. So the book clubs beginning in that pandemic era really brought people together in a way that they couldn't be in person. And that has been like a beautiful thing to see blossom over time by being able to come together in person. So some of our book clubs started in that environment and others started within the next couple of years afterwards. So it started small and then it became, who's interested in this? Or, hey, so-and-so keeps asking me, when are we going to start this kind of book club? So it's kind of naturally and organically kind of taken flight from there, which has been so great to be part of, because when something happens in that way where people are asking for it, you feel like you're fulfilling a need of those around you.
So I was just going to say, when the community says this is what we need, and then you're able to respond, it's like, oh, in that moment, in that time when we're all disconnected from others and just looking for how do we build community. This is such a great way to build community.
And it's been great.
So how do you think through, and I know it's not just you, so maybe give me the process. How does a book get picked to be part of a book club?
So I will say it's different for every group. So I co-host 2 book clubs of the 12 total that we have right now between partnerships and flagship book clubs. And we joke, me and my co-host joke, that it's not a democracy because we're running it. We have the say. So, you know, we say that lovingly and jokingly. But if we really don't want to read a book, we're not going to read it.
Like, I don't want to read that.
Other book clubs like to take input from their members, where once a year there's like a month where they vote on a book. And, you know, I work in close contact with book club hosts, as you know, to find books that either fit the genre and or month. So sometimes during holiday times or like Black History Month, we want to feature a Black author. So we're kind of looking to see what's been recently published. I have that, you know, back end knowledge. I can see in our system and on our website what other indie bookstores are ordering, what how high of a demand a book is based on popularity and how many people are pre-ordering it and whatnot. So I'm able to kind of take that knowledge based on what they're looking for. So I'm oftentimes working with hosts and giving them options. And then we're kind of going from there. There's also a little bit of background of, can we order this book into the store? What does that look like? Like a self-published book is harder to get in. And so those are things on the back end that I'm thinking about versus someone who has no idea of what the book selling business kind of looks like on the back end. So.
Yeah, we had a holiday party a couple months ago when all the book club hosts got together, and we were like talking about like, oh, how do you pick them? How do you? And some people it's very democratic, where there's like voting. Mine is very authoritarian. I'm like, hi, this is what we're reading, and if you don't want to be there, you don't have to come.
You don't have to come. No, and that's perfectly
and then everyone
fine.
was like, oh, like that's how you go. I was like, yeah, we just pick it.
And then I've worked on the opposite end where sometimes the book club members have too much of a say, and then the host has a hard time balancing saying no or kind of coming back and finding a blend of not just reading what you want to read, but something that might make you get out of your comfort zone and read a different perspective. So balancing that can sometimes be a little tough.
Yes. And I know with Arts Passport, we run the gamut on what we read because it's connected to the activity, the event we're doing. So we read everything from like AI is taking over the world to connect us to like Greek mythology. And so we're all over the place. But give me a rundown on like, what are the other book clubs? Because they're all themed around different topics. And...
Okay, you're testing my memory. So off the top of my head. So we have 5 partnership book clubs, but we have 7 that are Tombolo branded. So, 7. We have the Horror Book Club, the Crime Travel Book Club, the Tombolo Book Club, Science Fiction Book Club, Fantasy Book Club, Romance Book Club. Oh no! Middle Grades Book Club. Amanda, I'm so sorry. I know. I remembered. So we have 7. So we are obviously kind of hitting those major genres through those kind of 7. I will say the Tombolo Book Club reads a lot of more literary fiction and or up-and-coming new books, but that are also related to our really amazing, wonderful, blossoming events schedule and programming, because we do have authors in the store all the time and doing author events, so it's a really great crossover there. But if you're going to go to the Horror Book Club, you're going to read horror.
Imagine that.
Yeah, we're very straightforward with the names of these book clubs and what you're getting. But, each book club hopes to achieve something slightly different. As the co-host of the Science Fiction Book Club, Nicole and I really want to make sure that we're picking books that are diverse, that are accessible, because as a reader growing up, science fiction felt so out of reach. It felt like I wasn't smart enough to read science fiction. And it was a bunch of men, like what I was exposed to when I was younger was a bunch of older white men writing science fiction. I was like, I don't have the brain capacity. I don't feel smart enough to read this. And that's so not true. Yep. And so we also try to read across sub-genres of science fiction. So not just hard science, not just alien contact. You know, we just finished a book last month about AI robots. And, you know, having romantic partners, which is like pretty prevalent right now with AI. So we try to kind of hit all subgenres while also having diverse authors and perspectives within our club.
I love it.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask about, because maybe there's some listening to this who have never been to a book club before.
Please come.
Please come. But, like, what does the discussion look like? So, you're reading the book, you're, like, getting together, and what happens? For those that don't know.
Yeah. So I want to be very clear that we are very inclusive when it comes to book clubs. It's okay if you hated the book. It's okay if you didn't read it. If you didn't finish it, if you're coming just for the vibes. I've had people come to book club that are like, oh, I just happened to be by. I'm sitting in. We're like, come on in. Yeah. And so I'll speak from my perspective. For fantasy book club and science fiction book club, we go around the room, go around in a big circle. We just sit in a big circle and look at each other. And we give our thumbs up, thumbs down, 2 thumbs, no thumbs, and just like kind of your hot take. What did you feel about the book? What did you like? And that way, everyone has a chance to at least speak once, because some people get a little shy in front of others or not as comfortable. I've seen people come with their notes. Like some people come really prepared. Other people just wing it. But I always want to make sure there's space for everyone to say whatever's on their heart or their mind. And that kind of breaks it up. And so you can gauge very quickly if everyone loved the book or hated the book. And that's always very interesting. Yep. And then from there, personally, sometimes I'll come with questions in mind, but we really just kind of let it go wherever it goes. And I always say, hey, does anybody have anything that's weighing on them, or questions or confusion about X, Y, and Z? And you can kind of gauge that as a host based on what everyone just went around the room saying. And so from there, we just fill the time kind of bouncing from topic to topic. It's very low stress, very low key. I'm always like, please don't feel pressured to come with anything prepared. I'm not going to grill you. This is not an AR test in 5th grade. This is not like an
academic course.
No one's grading you. And so that has been really great. It's a really great way to just talk about your thoughts and your feelings about what you read.
I always remind people, I'm like, we're just hanging out. It's about the community more so.
Oh my gosh. I'll talk about that later. The community is the best.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about it now.
Okay. So I was thinking about this on my drive here. And it blows my mind when I think I started in 2020. I've been at Tombolo almost 6 years now. And the people I have met who are in my life, I'm like, I could never go on another day without them. It is so insane to me. So Kelsey, who is, oh my gosh, Kelsey, don't be mad at me. I can never remember your really big, long official title because she's the best. Our events and social media manager. And Kelsey is an auntie to my children. She has been there since both of my kids have been born. She was the only friend I trusted to watch my children while I went to book club on a Saturday because my husband works on Saturdays. And she is the light of my life. Like, she is my absolute favorite person. And I'm like, 7 years ago, I didn't even know her.
Yep.
And here she is. She's literally part of my family. She comes to all of our extended family gatherings. She's at Christmas. She's at Thanksgiving. And I'm like, oh, so good. And that's because the bookstore brought us together. Yeah. And this is something that I will say, I'll give a trigger warning here. This is trigger warning for miscarriage. I had a miscarriage a couple months ago. And I might tear up for a second, so... Okay, trigger warning for myself. I found out I was having a miscarriage, and my friend Kate, who I met from book club, who I cherish and I see multiple times a week because we co-work together, which I never would have, met her if it wasn't for book club. She was there for me and accompanied me to this appointment and held my hand. And it was the hardest, but I can't thank her enough for being there. And I think about that often, of how these relationships and these connections are so much deeper than the circumstances in which you may meet. Yeah. And I am so thankful for books, for the community, for bookstores, for just like-minded people being able to have a space to come together and then over time establish friendships and connections that are so much deeper than the books that brought you together. And for that, I will always be so grateful for.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, I could cry. If you're watching this, I will cry probably later on my drive home.
Thank you so much for sharing that story and for trusting me with it and trusting us with it. And just, it's because it's such a good reminder of like, that's what community is.
Yes.
And that's what I think we as people are just looking for right now is we're just looking for like-minded people that we can come together with.
Yeah.
And just lean on one another. And there's something miraculous that happens when you let down those walls and show that vulnerability. Because I think people naturally step up. Like, because we want to help each other.
Of course.
And I think we live in this time where it's just, so, speaking for myself, so fast-paced. And there's so much discord out there and noise that it's really hard to slow down and remember that we're all human. I'm human, you're human.
Yes.
And we're just all going through it together.
Yes.
And I think that's what I love about community. I love about these book clubs is they bring strangers together in so many different ways.
And I love that you said it forces you to slow down. You have an hour once a month, maybe more, if you come to multiple book clubs, where you get to be in the company of other like-minded people, where you can just have an easy conversation and you can let go of all the hustle and bustle and all of the things that are on your to-do list or all the things that are weighing on you or all of the things social media is flashing in your face, and you get to be present. And it's so lovely.
It is. Okay. Before we move on, I want to ask a controversial question.
Oh, gosh.
Do you have a favorite book club that's not your own?
I was saying, my book clubs are obviously the best.
Like how I threw that in? I was like, no.
Yeah, you should come to Fantasy Book Club and Science Fiction Book Club and all of the others. Do I have a book club?
It doesn't have to be a Tombolo book club, I guess.
Okay. Well,
Make it easier so no one has to have hurt feelings.
Okay, then I would say my favorite book clubs, and this is going back, it does no longer exist, but when I was teaching, I was fun fact, I was an educator for 9 years and a literacy coach, so shout out to the public school system. I would do book clubs with my students. So I taught 5th grade for 3 years before I moved to middle school, and I would do after-school book clubs, and it was the best. It was me and 5 or 6 kids, 10-year-olds, and we would read books and just chat about them. It was so nerdy and so sweet, and it was so great. I would bring snacks, and we would just, like, read books together. And then when I taught middle school, I taught mainly 8th grade, but I had a 6th grade gifted class that I taught. And there was this girl, Lily, and she was just the best. And she was a big reader. She reminded me a lot of myself when I was that age. And she would share the books that she was reading with me. And then I would read them with her. And we would just chit-chat about them during the class period that I had her. Keeper of the Lost Cities is a great middle grade book series, by the way. And that was just like the light of my day because we just got to chit-chat and have like a great conversation about books, and it was a nice little escape. So I guess my favorite book club are those with young and upcoming readers.
I love that.
Yeah.
What a diplomatic answer and a good answer.
I have to be neutral, although my book clubs are the best book clubs.
Just setting the record straight.
I guess the Arts Passport is pretty close.
No, it's okay. Our book club is wild and weird and we're all over the place. And truly it's like, I'm like, hi everyone, this is what we're doing. Hope you like it. Have fun. But I will say, on the whole, we have built like, I would say about a dozen folks that come every time.
Oh my gosh,
and they're like really into it.
Oh my gosh, regulars of book clubs are a great thing.
Yes.
They're the best, and all of the book clubs have their regulars, and they have so much to say, good and bad. But it's just so cool to see people who have been coming regularly to a book club for years. Like, that's just so awesome.
Yeah. That's when real community is built up. Yeah. I'll share real quick, not to put him on the spot. We have a regular member, John. We all love John. John, came to our first book club, stumbled in because he just saw the poster at Tombolo, and we were at Free Fall Theater, and it was me and love my book club, everyone, so please don't get mad at me for describing. More mature ladies.
Okay.
That's who my book club is. And
Seasoned.
with seasoned ladies, yes. And here comes John, this like young, strapping, good-looking man. So now every single time, whenever John comes in, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, John's here!" John is our book club celebrity, and we love when John
I
stops
love
by.
that. Oh,
Yeah.
John.
It's a lovely little group we have. Okay, we've talked about book clubs.
Okay.
I also want to talk about Trust Your Gut,
Yes.
which is your baked goods.
Yeah.
Can I describe it as sourdough, or is it more than just sourdough?
It's all sourdough.
It's all sourdough.
Everything is sourdough.
Great. So your sourdough company.
Yes.
Okay, where did this start?
Oh gosh. So Trust Your Gut actually started, oh God, I'm probably pandemic time, shocker, with kombucha. And so my husband and I bought a house prime pandemic time right before things got absolutely insane. And the neighbor next to us had a SCOBY. SCOBY is how you make kombucha. And she gave me the SCOBY with her instructions, and I just kind of self-taught myself how to make kombucha. And of course, as any eldest daughter, first child, has to be the best at everything, type A, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make so much kombucha. And I did. And we love kombucha. It's kind of taken a back seat because it has evolved from trusting your gut, so like, you know, probiotics and whatnot that's in kombucha, to being gut healthy with sourdough. So it's like fermentation is kind of the thing at play here.
Okay.
And I've always been a baker. I've always loved to bake. And I got into sourdough, not during the pandemic actually, which I know a lot of people did.
Yeah.
I got into it from a friend a little bit over 2 years ago, and then it just blossomed from there. And then people kept asking me for more bread, and then it wasn't just my friends anymore. And so I was like, okay, I'm bringing bread to the people. And I know that there are tons of people out there who do this, but it's really cool to serve and be specifically in the St. Pete area and community. I have made so many great connections and met so many wonderful people. Sometimes from word of mouth. I literally had someone, speaking of books and how all of this connects, I have a free little library, no surprise, in my front yard, and I have it registered with the little free library like website, so you can look them up and see where they are. So there was a woman who saw me delivering bread in my front yard to somebody else, but she was a regular at my library. She said, oh my gosh, I've been looking for sourdough since we moved from San Francisco. I said, well, here I am.
And you're like, here I am.
And she has been regular. Shout out to Stacy. You're the best. Stacy has been a regular ever since, and she works in therapy in the community. So I'm like, oh my gosh, here we are. I get to meet everybody at my front yard.
I love it.
By my mailbox, by my free little library. Being able to serve bread and books and how they intersect has been so cool. And so here I am, just continuing to do markets and breads and feeding. I like to feed people. It makes me happy.
I really hope you have a shirt and a bumper sticker that just says like "Bring bread to the people."
Bring bread to the people. I need to make one.
I love it.
Yeah.
So this was just kind of a natural business that just bubbled up and started.
Because why not have something else that I do?
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be so dumb. Walk me like sourdough is bread.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
So sourdough is a culture. And
Like
it's alive.
Okay.
I feed it. It
You
grows.
feed?
I feed it. Yes, I'll have to send you some
No.
video. Yes.
Okay.
This is where people lose it and they're like, okay, maybe I'll just buy the sourdough and not make it myself. Yeah, so it is wild yeast. So I'm sure you've seen packaged yeast or like in a jar from the fridge.
Sure,
Yeah, that's
sure,
like
sure.
commercial yeast.
Okay.
But wild yeast is like in the air. This is going super crunchy here. And what I do to feed my starter is I take water and flour and the starter culture, and I just mix it together and I let it grow. It peaks, it's happy and it's bubbly, it gurgles, and then I use it in the bread.
Okay.
So it is a live culture, which is kind of cool because sourdough has a distinct tanginess flavor, and that can vary from area to area based on like your climate and the water and like what is in your environment around you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, we live in Florida, it's humid.
Very different.
The way that my bread reacts is so different from someone who's in Utah or somewhere, you know, out west, because all of those environmental factors play into the bread that you make.
That's so I knew you had to like tame it and like let it
Yes.
I guess I did not realize like it's a living, breathing thing.
You feed it, and then it grows, and you use it in your recipes.
This is a Little Shop of Horror situation.
Kind of, but tastier, and not going to harm you.
Okay. So you got into sourdough, and this is if people want to buy some of your sourdough.
Yeah.
Is it online or just markets, or like where can they find
you? I'm sure you'll plug me in somewhere, but I have an Instagram. On my Instagram, I have a link, like a booking link. And so I use a platform called Simply Bread. It's an app. And so I load my menu, and if you sign up for text updates, it'll text you and say, hey, ordering is open. And it shows you my menu, and you can order online. And then sometimes I'll do pickups in the area, or you just come to my house and I give you your bread. And you have a lovely day, and you go on. And I never spam you.
Oh my gosh! Thank you very much.
I will never spam you. And I do a lot of local markets this month, and usually every month I will do Golden Isles Brewing. They have a night market. New Moon Makers at Allendale Church. I do their markets. I have done the Blush Market in the past. I've done Tombolo's birthday market. So I am kind of anywhere and everywhere. Oh, I just did Pistol House the other week. They have a night market, which is really great. There's no shortage of places to pop up at. So I will go wherever the wind takes me. I try to do 1 or 2 markets a month on top of the baking that I do.
Did you start your book club just so you have a built-in bread audience? Of like...
That's actually a really great idea. It's funny that you say that because some of my book club members have become, of course, regular bread customers. Shout out to Maddie, who is going to be picking up bread from my house tonight.
And you brought some with you today?
I did.
Okay, walk me through what you have.
Okay.
We can cut it if you want, if that was the plan. I don't know what the plan was,
yes,
actually. Is this display only, or are we eating it today? I'm not
This
sure.
was to share with you. I was like, why would I not bring
I was
some?
like, wait, as I said, I was like, wait a second.
This
We've
is
never
not,
talked about
this is only for the camera.
Well, I wasn't sure, actually, and then I was like, wait a second. Hopefully I didn't, like, just make this awkward.
So I normally, so it's changed over time. And what has worked for me recently is I bake twice a month. So 2 Fridays of the month you can pick up. And I try to do seasonal flavors. I'm inspired by what's happening, and I try to keep it, mix it up. So it never gets too boring. So I always try to have some kind of something different. But of course I have things that everybody loves. But this week I had some orders. I have some rye bread.
Okay.
For here I have a classic is a chocolate brownie loaf. Mm-hmm. And I have this lemon poppy seed little mini loaf. So these are all just kind of extra breads that I had from this week. So I was like, oh, I'll make teeny tiny little loaves and I'll bring them to share.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So you can taste test them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yes. Okay. Which one do you want to start with?
You tell me. I'm going to let you drive the bus.
Okay. Well.
Because I don't know.
You like chocolate?
Oh, yeah, of course. So how long do you have to, like, let the sourdough mature for?
Yeah. So sourdough is typically a 2-day process.
Okay.
And that long fermentation is what is...
Show the camera.
I'm showing the camera.
Yes, thank you.
The crumb. Long fermentation is what makes it easily digestible.
Okay.
And I'm sure you've heard the quote, it's gut healthy.
Yeah.
Right? There's some influencers that say that. And so... that is why sourdough can be something that sometimes people with a gluten sensitivity can ingest because it has that easier digestibility to it. Mm-hmm. But it's at least a 2-day process. So day 1 is dough day. That's where I make all my dough. I mix it all up. I am still doing everything by hand. I'm waiting for my taxes to be done to know if I can afford a mixer.
Oh my gosh.
My hands are tired.
We need to get you a mixer.
My wrist, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Wait, you're doing all this by hand?
Yes. My good old whisk and my arm strength. Yes. So it's literally a labor of love. So dough day is day 1. And then day 2 is bake day. So today was a bake day.
Okay.
So I was up early. Today was I was up at 5 a.m. getting all my bakes done. Because after this, people will come by my house and pick up their orders.
Yeah, because they want it when it's fresh. And,
yeah, of course. So 2-day process. And then I would say maybe two and a smidge. Because the night before I do my dough day, I calculate all of the orders I have and I feed my starter accordingly. So I have enough starter.
Okay.
So I have a pretty big clear plastic bin, and I'll feed it, and it'll grow, and then I use that when I make my bread the next day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try chocolate chip.
Yes.
And our production manager, who's not on camera, is probably also going to get some.
Literally,
as well.
anybody who wants some can have some.
I'm actually
Do you want
not
butter?
Gonna, yeah, whatever you prefer, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to let. Yeah.
Well, I only brought butter. So that's what you're
Butter or no butter? The answer is butter.
The answer is butter.
Okay.
Okay.
With our lovely rainbow plates, which I appreciate.
Courtesy of my son Hugo and his love of rainbows and everything that's colorful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll wait for you so we can do
we're
it
gonna.
together.
Okay.
I don't want to like eat first, you know.
No.
Look, I'm not a nice person, but I do have some manners. Okay.
Oh, you're too funny. I will say I get this order often for chocolate brownie loaf. I actually had a customer. This is so funny. I had a customer a couple weeks ago bring a bread knife to the pickup so they could break.
Like right then and there.
Yes.
They were
in
like,
their
I
car,
can't.
They were eating. Her and her son were eating the bread together, and I said, "This is next level."
She was like, I literally can't wait another second.
I truly admire
I
your
would have
commitment to
upcharged
this.
her and like pre-sliced it.
All right.
Okay, are you ready?
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right.
Oh my gosh. That's delicious.
It's great toasted, of course. I always recommend people, if they get the chocolate brownie loaf, butter, make it into French toast, peanut butter, cream cheese on top, whatever you want, any of those items.
What's like your go-to topping situation?
Okay, so I'm basic because so I typically will eat honestly whatever we have on hand. So I tend to cater to whatever my husband is asking for because he takes my sandwiches. He makes sandwiches every day. So my husband is a mail carrier, and so he's on the go. So he uses my bread to make sandwiches. So I'm, whatever you're interested in, I'll make it for you. So I eat that. But if I'm in a rush, just basic. Butter. Butter is it. Yes, my daughter loves, she asks for bread toast every morning. Mm-hmm. Can I have some bread toast? And she doesn't care what it is. She doesn't care what flavor, what's in it. She wants bread toast, she wants it with butter.
Obviously.
If I have time, though, I love to make like a little avocado toast. So I do that with some sea salt and like lemon on top.
So good.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what I'm having. That's when I'm having a balanced breakfast.
When you're like, I'm taking time for myself.
Yeah, time for myself. I'm feeding myself breakfast. Yeah.
Isn't that funny? You're like, well, time for myself is just like eating.
Basic
right.
self-care.
Welcome to 2026, everyone. Mm-hmm. Okay, so wait, one more question. Because I'm just like that. So look, I don't cook. I know like how to go to Publix and buy a cake mix and do that. I got that down pretty solid.
Yeah, you can follow instructions.
Yeah, well, not really, but I'm like, sure. Because then I get home and I'm like, oh, olive oil. Yeah, I can substitute that for like water. That's fine. And then it never. So not really. So obviously the sourdough, the dough is one flavor.
Yes.
How do you get the variety of flavors here?
Yes.
That's where my brain is going right now.
So a basic sourdough loaf is starter, water, flour, salt.
Okay.
That's it. No
That's sourdough.
It. That's sourdough. Like a basic sourdough artisan loaf. That's it. Then you can do inclusions. That's the official term, where you mix in other items. So if I'm making a jalapeno cheddar loaf, for example, I will do a basic recipe, like I just said, water, salt, flour, starter. And then during the stretch and fold process where you're building the gluten and the strength of the dough, that's when I put in the shredded cheese and the jalapenos, and I basically fold it in so it's evenly distributed. Delicious. Now, with other ones like a cinnamon raisin loaf, I'll do the raisins that way, but then when I'm shaping the dough for overnight proof, that's when I'll spread it like into a rectangle, and I'll do like a butter cinnamon spread and then roll it up. So it's like wrapped up in that little swirl. So that's another way you can do it. But for something like the chocolate brownie loaf, when I am mixing the water and the starter to begin with into like a liquid form, that's when I add the sugar and the cocoa powder, and then I add the flour, and then during the stretches and folds, I add all the chocolate chips.
So you can do anything you want.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay, I have one more question, then we can move off this because we do have to like wrap up soon. But this is where my mind is going. It's like, can I buy this for friends? Like, what if I gifted someone like a sourdough subscription?
Oh my gosh, that sounds great.
Right? Because I'm like, because I'm not here all the time, obviously, because I'm crazy. But like, maybe I don't know where I live. But I'm like, like one of my friends like might enjoy getting fresh sourdough every month type thing.
So it's funny that you say that because I actually had someone reach out for a pickup tonight. She's picking up 3 like medium-sized loaves and a coupon code for my ordering site for a raffle that she's doing. So she's like, I'm trying to support local businesses in this raffle. So she has, she's going to have a regular traditional sourdough loaf, a chocolate brownie loaf, and then an Italian herb loaf, plus a $50 coupon code essentially for my ordering site. So that is one way that you can do that. You can like chat with me. You can always text me or message me on Instagram, and I'm always happy to like make the code for you. And then when that person goes to check out, they just enter that code and it's paid for.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
Everyone better get some sourdough. It's delicious. And check out a book club at Tombolo.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to end with some rapid fire questions to wrap this adventure up?
Yes. We'll see if I can answer all of them.
I think it'll be just fine. Okay. First up. What is the one book that never fails to start a good debate or discussion?
You know, I did research on this one. Spoiler alert, they told me some of the questions beforehand, and I wrote this down. So I have 2 options here, and I hate to say this, but I had a hard time thinking about this because if you gravitate towards a certain genre, you're not going to have any knowledge of what other people are talking about and having all these conversations about. But I will say this because this is top of mind, and I was just in my book club Instagram chat group talking about this. But Sarah J. Maas is the author of ACOTAR, or A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is like a romantasy series, right? And this is such an interesting book series to have conversations about because people either love it or they hate it. And the amount of discourse out there and the way that people have taken on these characters is just one example of many of how people live in the books that they read and how they personify them.
Sure.
And it's always interesting to hear the conversations about what characters you think you like, what you think about the romantasy genre, which is a whole nother can of worms in itself because people think, you know, it's not real or not good enough or not literary enough. And that sparks a whole conversation about what constitutes reading quote unquote real books versus what people read for enjoyment or what people just like to read in general.
Yeah.
So I would say that asking someone what they think about ACOTAR, if they are in that genre, is always very interesting, especially because Sarah J. Maas is such a renowned author and has written other things. And she just came out recently with, I think, books 6 and 7, maybe 8, coming out for this series, which people have been waiting for years. So the long-awaited return of the ACOTAR series is coming. And then the other one I was going to say is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Dungeon Crawler Carl.
No.
Okay. I only know of this because of book club, sci-fi book club. But this is a really interesting book for people to talk about because it personifies video games in like a real life setting of sorts. So if you're very into video games, you tend to be very interested in this book series as well. But it's really a great conversation starter for people who say, oh, I don't read. I'm not a reader. But you're reading Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is coming out with its 8th book. And the books are like 500 pages long. Yeah. So it's a really great conversation into what constitutes someone who says that they aren't a reader and why, and what they constitute as being good enough for your reading material to kind of make the cut. I don't know if I answered your question. That was a very long-winded response.
No, you definitely did. I appreciate it. Was it rapid fire?
No.
Was it an answer? Yes.
Sorry.
No, I'm just joking. Okay, 2 more, then we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
What is your go-to reading snack?
Okay. Oh, in general.
Well, I told you from your bakery.
You did. And I typically read when I'm eating lunch. So
Okay.
that's my time to like do 2 things at once that are scheduled. And so I'm usually eating like bread with scrambled eggs or cheese or something to like make it a meal as I'm eating and reading at the same time. But I will say I make sourdough scones, and those are great to have with a morning coffee while you're also reading your book on a weekend. So that's like a nice way to tie them together.
So many good treats.
Yes.
Okay, and then lastly, you could host a book club with any 3 St. Pete locals.
I don't know.
Who is coming to the book club?
I have no idea. I thought about this and I said, I just want to read books with people who want to read the same books I do. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your background is.
I really don't care.
I really don't care. I'd rather just have a diverse perspective. I thought about this and I was like, I don't have an answer. I really don't. I'm open. Whoever wants to come to book club.
What a nice answer. I'd be like, this person, not this person. No, I'm just joking. I'd be like, no.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for chatting today.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me.
You are amazing.
Thank you.
Please check out book clubs at Tombolo Books.
Please come to book clubs.
Even if you just want to hang out and chat for a little bit.
Yes, or even if you want an idea of what you should read next, you can see what we are reading.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And please check out Trust Your Gut.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Avery.
All right, Serena, thank you for bringing the sourdough. I'm going to keep munching on it as my day goes on because this was delicious. Thank you so much for listening to this fantastic episode. Please do support Tombolo Books. They are an amazing community partner. They do so much work for us. Please support Trust Your Gut and Serena and the work she is doing. And I just really want to appreciate Serena for the vulnerability of this conversation, for holding space with all of us, for just talking about the benefit and the beauty of building community. Please continue to like, follow, subscribe, support the Tampa Bay Arts Passport. We are almost 1 year old. Can you believe that? May 1st is our birthday, so there's going to be lots of fun things that we get to announce coming up soon. So thank you so much for listening, and we will connect soon. All right, bye.